Hey guys, so this is a video on my do-it-yourself strat kit off of solo guitars. But first of all, I want to mention that I'm sorry for not uploading videos if you're kind of waiting for them. I've just been super busy with a bunch of stuff, but yeah, alright, so here it is. So I'll just give you a quick look on the back. So yeah, I got this kit off of sologuitars.com, I think. No, it's so I always mess up the websites. I think it's solomusicgear.com or something like that. But yeah, by the way, not sponsored video. I don't think my channel is big enough to be getting sponsors, but yeah, so I purchased this kit for about, well, I didn't purchase it. I got it for a Christmas present, actually. And I've kind of been, like, upgrading small parts to make it, like, I'm trying to make the perfect guitar. For me, anyways. But, yeah, I think it was, like, it was around 150 bucks, which is it's 150 bucks Canadian, actually. So that's a really good price for one of these. I don't know how much American dollars that would be, but um, yeah, they are actually I didn't know this about them, but I think they are in like Canada. I don't know where, but they're like a Canadian company, just makes guitars. Uh, well, not really guitars. They make guitar kits. So I put this one together, and it surprised me. It's actually a really good guitar. So let's first talk about the neck. Here, I'll bring the camera up. So the neck at first, the frets were super sharp. And they still are. I didn't do a great job of kind of getting them duller, I guess, but yeah, here, this camera won't focus. Let's try it. There we go. So you can see there, the fret ends are, they're not like terrible like a Squire. Actually, there's a Squire Strat right here. Just those ones are pretty bad, but these ones here aren't like terrible. They're not super uncomfortable to play. So the first fret, I don't know what happened to it, but it's just, this one is like the perfect fret. Like, I don't know, I didn't sand that one actually, it just kind of happened, but yeah. But the frets are actually, focus. The frets are actually pretty level, I guess you could call it. There's barely any buzzy frets. There's like a one or two up around this region, but I'll show you that one in the demo, I guess. But yeah, no logo on the headstock, just because I didn't want to permanently mess up or anything. And if I was gonna do one, I'd just get like painter's tape and slap it on there and write something. Well, I wouldn't do that. I'd write it on and then I'd put it on there, because if I just wrote it like on the painter's tape, then it would bleed through onto the wood. But yeah, because I don't know, to me it kind of looks like punk rock, like if you just slapped a random piece of tape on there. I don't know if I'm gonna do it, probably not, but yeah, I got one string tree in here. It didn't, every single screw hole came pre-drilled except for the string tree ones. And I think that's pretty awesome, because if you don't want the string tree, then that's fine. But I didn't have the right drill size to put this in. I'll actually explain in a minute about the pickups and stuff, but yeah, so I had to, well, I was getting like it in for, because I don't have like a soldering kit or anything for like to wire up and just like to be ready to play. And in the process, I wanted this thing in, because well, he did it the first time, he being like the guitar person. He did it the first time, and he just put the 3 single coils in and hooked it up to the output jack. And it was pretty good, but the high E just kept falling out of the nut, and here, I'll try to show you. Come on, focus. There you go. The nut is like kind of, I don't know, it's not super deep in there, so it just kept falling off. Whenever I'd play like an open E, it just, well, like an E chord, it would just fall out. But now that the string tree's in, it's much better. Everything on here is stock except for the things that I'll talk about. Everything on here is stock except for the things that aren't stock. So the tuners are stock, and they are actually really good pickups. What am I? Ow! God dang it! Everything's going wrong. First I can't talk, then I stab myself on the string ends. But yeah, these are really great tuners. Like, they're almost Fender quality, which surprised me. Everything on this guitar seems like mid to high quality, which is awesome for the price of it, because this is like maybe a lower end Fender, like the cheapest Fender you can get. This is probably close to the quality of that. But yeah, these are really great. They stay in tune. They're not like the Squier ones. Those are crap. Don't use those. They're terrible. And they're like almost, yeah, they're really good tuners. The neck, well, as far as the fingerboard goes, I'm not really like a professional when it comes to this stuff, but there were a little bit of like marks on there, like scuffs. It's not a huge deal, but it came with like, I had to kind of wipe it down, basically, and it came like pretty moist, I guess. Like, it didn't come like super dry like some of the other ones, which was good. But sorry, that's my baby sister. Okay, so the back of the neck, let's talk about that. So I did a actually, well, I'll talk about the paint in a minute, but the back of the neck is just a matte, like, clear coat spray can. And it actually, so what I did was I sanded it down with super light, like, stuff. I taped off the fingerboard, and then I just sprayed it with matte finish, and it's actually really good. So if you're building one of these guitar kits, Avery, that would definitely be like a good thing to do, because it really worked for me. And this part right here is a little bit like more glossy because I kind of just run my sweaty thumb all over it. But if it ever, like, the matte rubs off or anything, I can just take the neck off and respray it. I hate when I get voice cracks. But okay, so the bolt-on, the plate, I guess, is, I don't know if it was just my hands that are terrible, just screwing these in wrong, but I don't know, they're kind of, sorry, they're kind of just misplaced, I don't know, but that was probably just me. Okay, plate here, actually, I wish I could take this off, but I don't have a screwdriver around, surprisingly. But everything basically in there is super good. The tremolo system is awesome. Actually, the claw, oh my gosh. Sorry if you hear my little sister in the background. But the guy, he, like, screwed it in halfway, which is normally how, like, they come, right? So, because the whammy bar is, like, easier to push down, but I was being, like, dumb, and I screwed them all the way in, which kind of messed me up a little bit. Hold on. And I don't know, I don't really use the whammy bar that much, but it's just one of those things that I did. But yeah, it seems pretty good. Okay, flipping over to the other side. Actually, I'm going to talk about paint jobs right now. So, set the camera up right here. Okay, so, what I did for the paint. The neck is completely Like, that's the first thing that I did. I just sprayed it down, and it works perfectly. But the body, as you can see, the paint job is pretty terrible. And the reason for that is, when I was painting it with gold spray paint, but it was a different can and it kind of sucked. And since it's winter, here we go. Since it's winter, because I live in Canada, it's like freezing out. It's warming up a little bit, but when I was doing it, it was like almost negative 20 Celsius. So I had to actually, like, the paint would not dry. I waited for like 3 hours at one point, and it just would not dry. So I took it out. I sanded it, even though it was still wet. I got paint all over my hands, and it sucked. And then I was like, okay, maybe it's the spray paint that I was using because it's a different can and it kind of sucked. So I waited a bit and I was like, I shouldn't risk it. So I hand painted it with a brush. And it came out pretty crappy, but I actually like that about it. Oh my gosh, my baby sister. But yeah, I don't know. It looks super crappy. Oh, no. Playing with the cables and stuff. Looks super crappy up close, but when you're pretty far away, it actually doesn't look too bad. Try that into the camera. But yeah, so I just painted it a couple of times, and then I wanted to do a satin finish for the body because, well, I thought it would be like a bit more glossy, but I decided not to do it because I thought it had something to do with the glossiness of the paint, because the matte dried like perfectly on the neck. It was like super good, but when I basically I sprayed the body with matte, so the same stuff as the neck, just because I wanted it to dry and I wasn't sure, and it already looked kind of like iffy, so wouldn't matter how what like finish I'd put on it or anything, but yeah. So alright, now that the paint's out of the way, let's talk about the big stuff. So as you can see here, it used to be all single coils, just like that square over there, but I added this in. So this, hold on a minute. Okay, so what I did with the pickups was I didn't want just single coils. I wanted a humbucker in here because I play a lot of metal, and I wanted to get that like classic rock, like Jimi Hendrix type tone, but I also wanted to get like a thick distortion tone or a different tone. So I didn't want to like cut out a huge square on the body and then like do a bunch of junk like that. So what I found was this. It's called a dual rail or a hot rail, I think. It's made by Seymour Duncan, but this is a cheap copy I got off of eBay for like $20 Canadian. I think it's like $12. I think Guitar Max did a video on it. But I thought it was perfect. So I got the guitar guy to put it in. And in the process, he also put in the string tree. But it's so much better now. So I'll do that, and I'll show that in the demo. But the volume knob, I don't know what the tone knobs are actually like doing. It doesn't sound like they're making a difference, but I don't know. Also, I didn't take the plastic off from underneath these, which I probably should do, because that's just super annoying. But 5-way switch still. So for the pickups, I just wanted just straight humbucker. I didn't want like any like crazy mechanics with like splitting coils or whatever. I just wanted just a humbucker. So what he did was this position, neck pickup, this one, these two. This one, middle pickup. The far right is just the humbucker. And then this one is actually the humbucker plus the middle pickup. So it's 3 coils working together, which is crazy to me. It doesn't really make a sound like different it doesn't really make it sound different. It doesn't really make like a sound difference, but it's like, I guess it's there. And this thing keeps like, it comes off. I should probably super glue it, but whatever. So yeah, I guess everything is kind of done. I just do a sound test now. So all right, so I'll do the neck pickup first, just the neck pickup. Not sure if you can hear that. So, yeah, the neck pickup sounds pretty good. I really liked the bridge single coil, but I really like the humbucker more. So I'm glad that he put it in the bridge position. My nose is kind of running. I don't know why. All right, next we're going to do these two together. Actually, never mind. I forgot to do the dirty tone for this one. And since it's a single coil, yeah, that's pretty annoying. I should probably turn So it doesn't sound good. It sounds pretty crappy, actually, with the distortion. By the way, I'm using the metal zone for this. People think it's such a crappy pedal, but it's actually kind of good with this. I'll show you in a minute, but here, I'll quickly show you what gear I'm using. This is just a cheap little Stag amp. I don't know what it's called, but yeah, this is the Zoom G1 G1ON, and I'm using like a arena reverb, I guess. Then the metal zone. These are the settings. Yeah. All right, so neck and middle pickup. This is the hum canceling too, so distortion. So yeah. All right, now the distortion. Oh, okay, I forgot to do the open chord test for the neck pickup. Hold on. Alright, now the neck and middle pickup. Alright, now just the middle pickup. That's weird. Alright, and the distortion. Alright, so now this is a huge difference. Now we're going to do the dual rail pickup. So this is the humbucker. And I'll just do a quick improvised solo with the middle pickup so you can just hear the difference. And then the humbucker. So I really love the sound of that. And the clean sound of the middle pickup is pretty good too. But the humbucker, in my opinion, just sounds much better. Alright, now to the good stuff. This is the distortion. This is the reason I got it in. that sounds pretty awesome. And before I was dealing with this. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess. So, if you guys like the video, leave a like and subscribe. Thanks.